Hello everybody, and welcome back to the MavPack server. I have been awfully busy, and I've gotten a ton of stuff accomplished since the last time that we met. I've been at this for a few days, and primarily what I've done is I have done some remodeling in the base, and I have also delved further into Thaumcraft. So now that I have quite a bit to do, well, I always have quite a bit to do, but I've gotten quite a bit further in that. But something that I want to do before we get into anything here is I forgot to mention this, or at least I think I forgot to mention this the last time around. While I was reviewing some of the goodies that I got from the Nether, what I also got is I got some mobs, and I got a wasp from one of those big beehive things. I don't know if that translates into drops that I could use for forestry, like the bee breeding, but it probably won't. I'm not really sure what these guys drop, to be honest with you. So I'm going to try to spawn a bunch of them and see if they do anything. If they don't, then, you know, that's that. Maybe I'll just use them for shenanigans. I'm not really sure yet. I got a fire bat, and I got the big heat scar spider. Now, something I didn't get to test in my solo world was if they have a net profit of mob essence after the big one is killed, and then the 4 little ones that they spawn when it dies are killed. I don't know if that translates into more than it's using to produce them or not, so that's something that I want to test. Didn't get a chance to last time around. And the big one was a ghast. Now I got kind of lucky with this guy. He didn't spawn next to me, but he landed next to me. He came down and kind of sat himself down on a platform that I happened to be near, and I did a little bit of creative jumping. Luckily, I had my my Boots of the Traveler on me, and that made it a lot easier as far as speed and height that I can get to him. So I was able to get that guy. And that's something that I kind of want to get into today before I show you the rest of what I've done. Speaking of the mob spawners, that is kind of what I want to do. I have one made. I don't really have any idea what I want to do as far as a setup, or where I really even want to put it just yet. We're probably just going to set up one temporarily, so that way I can get some mob drops going, because I definitely need, I need some pearls. I need a lot of pearls. So that's going to be, that's an important one. And also the wisps. I need some wisps because I need some mob essence. Or not mob essence, ethereal essence, and I'll get more into that here in a minute. What else was there? Oh, the ghast. Yeah, I spawned the ghast too. Some of these here, let's see. I've been holding on to these for quite some time. I got a bunch of villagers. One of these guys, actually, these are all the kind of the special villagers from various villages that I've visited so far. These aren't your normal ones, unless they had a really good trade, but I don't think I kept any of them. These are the guys that that the other mobs or mods add in, like the atheist and the Tinker's Construct adds its own villager. A couple guys like that. Where these guys here, these are named mobs. I happened to come across them. This one guy was trapped in a hole. The Unholy. I found him in a hole. He's got regen 2, 80 health there. This guy's the same. I found him not too much later. He's got regeneration and fire resistance on him. And this spider just killed me earlier today. Natasha ate a bourbon, and so I went back and captured her, got my grave, got all my good stuff back. Some of these are... Most of these, some like the skeleton and possibly, yeah, the silverfish too, because they have the boosted health. These are infernal. That was really my only option to get rid of these guys at the time, was to capture them. So the zombie, the silverfish, and the skeleton are all infernal. Don't know if I'll do anything with them. Probably just release and kill them. But this Enderman here. This is kind of a special Enderman, because when I found him, I found I seen a backpack on him. At first I thought it was a regular Enderman until I got close to him and I seen he was wearing something. He was wearing a dark backpack, and I couldn't kill him. Actually, the first one that I found I killed. It took a long time to kill him because he would run away a lot, and what eventually happened is, because I couldn't get him to aggro me whatsoever. I could look at him all I wanted. I could hit him a bunch of times. No matter what I did, couldn't get him to aggro me. And he kept teleporting away whenever I swung at him. So I finally got him dead. Didn't drop anything. And it was a while before I found another one, and I was able to capture him. So, and I looked into it. I think these guys are called Friendermans. I seen that name in the config files while I was browsing through them, setting it up. So I think that's a Frienderman. I don't know what they drop, so it'd be interesting to see if they do anything. But as you can see, I've done some decorating. This is, as I explained at the last episode, it is the GoldenEye facility. Now, the reason I'm doing the GoldenEye facility is because it's one of my favorite maps. In fact, I built most of this. I carved most of this out without even looking at the game. I hadn't played GoldenEye in probably 10 years, and I was able to, with a fair bit of accuracy, dig most of this out. Now, I had to go back through and play a little bit of it because there was some details on room sizes that I needed to get right because they were colliding into each other a little bit. So I needed to figure out where to place doors, where all the fine detail things that I wasn't quite getting. So I needed to go back and play, which was a train wreck, by the way. I have completely lost my edge with that game. The controls were all wonky. I kept facing the wall, doing all kinds of stuff. Anywho, got a whole bunch of microblocks going on here. It kind of gives it that detailed feel that I'm looking for. The walls are concrete, and actually I broke down all that netherrack that I got from the nether, because it pulverizes into gravel, and then the gravel smelts into concrete. So that's how I've been getting all the concrete from, or for this base is from the nether there. Got rails. I might have to change this because my boots, I can step up on them, and I kind of don't want that. So I might move this rail up one, so it's technically a 2-block collision zone instead of the 1 block. So that way I don't have to watch myself. I'll run into them like I'm supposed to. I kind of like this. I didn't think I was going to, but it works. I wish you could angle them for rails on stairs, but this works. I kind of dig it. And this is all marble. Haven't done anything with these rooms yet. These are still just kind of temporary farms and whatnot. In here, I actually just got this about an hour ago, is I found a gold ore berry bush. Found it way deep down inside a abandoned mine shaft, and it's the only one that I've ever found. I never found one of these on my solo world, so that's pretty cool. So we'll keep going down here, get a little bit more done. This is going to be my storage room, because in the original game, this was a locker room, and lo and behold, these are lockers from the Better Storage mod. Really like them. They hold a fair bit, not as much as some of the other single block storage containers do. Like the diamond chest, it's being a single block. I think it holds. I mean, it holds a massive amount of stuff. But I won't be doing that because that's going to take a lot of diamonds to fill this room, and quite honestly, I don't know if I'm even going to need that much storage. So I'll probably just double stack these. I'm gonna go back and get rid of all this marble because you won't even see it, so that it doesn't really need to be there. These are expensive to make, actually. These use blocks and ingots, so that's why I use tin, because I have a bunch of tin, and I kind of wanted to have that. Well, the bigger storage. I was going to use iron because they look nice too, but the tin looks very similar, and I have a bunch of tin that I'll never ever use. So that's what I'm using for that stuff. Down in here. Oh, and by the way, I raised the roof 1 block for pretty much all of my areas. It just gives it that it kind of felt a little too claustrophobic before. Like it was kind of, everything was kind of squashed. So I raised everything by 1 block, and I like it a lot better this way. It seems to flow a little bit better. And I know these hallways in the game are tall like this. So we're gonna keep it like that. But in here, what was I gonna do in here? Oh, actually, I think that's all I wanted to show, to be honest with you. Real quick, though, part of the reason that I need to get a spawner set up is because of these, my boots and my goggles have taken quite a beating since I made them. I need to get repair on them, but I can't do the repair because it takes Salus Mundus, and I don't have any Salus Mundus. Or I should say I can't make any because I need the Ethereal Essence, and that's why we need to make the spawner, so I can get some, spawn some wisp and get some of that made, so that way I can continue to, well, so I can repair this, but also I'm starting to hit a wall with Thaumcraft stuff. Is that even growing yet? No, it's not growing. I might have to take this outside to get it to reproduce. Anywho, starting to hit a wall with all my Thaumcraft stuff because I need Salus Mundus for getting to be more and more items, and I am, like I said, don't have any. So in order for me to progress, I'm gonna have to make some. Oh, I know what I need to show you. My wand. I now have a bunch of the foci. Well, not a bunch. I have 6. Equal trade, the fire one, excavation, frost, portable hole, and shock. Those are pretty much all the ones that I made in the solo world, so anything after this is going to be new to me. I have been collecting nodes. I found a Air Preditio Terra, and this one is the same thing, only it's got Aqua instead of Preditio. This one's got Ordo and a Messis. I believe that I could break down the compound ones, because this one is pretty much all compound. It's, Infernus, Saxum, Census are all compound, and those are all really high tier compound, actually. So, I believe, let's get my book back out here. With this here, where is it? No, Thaumaturgy, right here. Compound recharge focus. It says I can break down the compound aspects from nodes, and it will charge my wands. It'll only break down into one of the primals, but there's a lot of chances. Like, I'm not really sure how this works, to be honest with you, but I do know that it will pull compound aspects from nodes and use those to charge the wand. So I'm going to be collecting some of those. I'm glad that I found that one there, because that one has a lot of compound stuff in it. So that should turn out to be pretty much like an anything node, hopefully, because I looked through all those, and pretty much every primal aspect is represented in that list there. So that should help me out quite a bit. So I'm going to gather a few things, and we're going to get started figuring out what we want to do with the spawner. Alright, I gathered up a few items that we're going to be needing. The auto spawner, grinder, and you know, various ducks, stuff like that. This here is, this is right under my base. It is almost perfectly in line with that, the ladder that goes down. And there is a, zombie spawner, in this cave system here. And I closed it off. It has pretty much been running non-stop since I found it. And that is where I got all my, my zombie I got almost 3 stacks of these zombie heads. Tons and tons and tons and tons of rotten flesh. I think I have 6 of the flesh blocks, so I have a ton of that. So pretty much infinite leather, which is what I've been kind of melting down to get some of the aspects from it, because it's actually, see, it gives that tutumon, and I know I need a ton of that for the enchantment, the infusion enchantment stuff, especially like protection and whatnot. So I'll be using a lot of that. I get, I even got some diamond stuff in here. I got like 2 pairs of diamond boots and diamond X from something. Must have been an infernal mob or something like that. But anywho, we're going to take this drum. It is pretty much full. Looks like I need to change that out anyways. I wonder how much is in there. 250 buckets out of 256. We're going to take that, and we're going to leave that stuff there. So, what I want to do is we're going to head this way. Actually, real quick, I wanted to mention this here, the ash stone. It took me a long time to figure out that, because I forgot all about that this was up on the volcano that I'm right next to. I was going to use abyssal stone, and I had abyssal stone in there, but it was way too dark. It just seemed like it was too dark, and I might even change this out here. And the regular stone was too light, because in the game it's very kind of it's like a dark concrete kind of a look. And what I was going to try to do was carpenter block it, and then tint it darker. And I found that light gray dye on stone makes about this color. So I was going to use that, but then I realized that I wouldn't be able to kind of half and half it like this here, like you can with the micro blocks, which is awesome, by the way. I love it. Otherwise, this kind of a build wouldn't be possible. It certainly isn't vanilla, possible in vanilla. But anyways, I totally forgot about this stone, so I go up and I gathered up a bunch of it, and it's the perfect shade. It's right in between stone and that abyssal stone. So that's what I've been using for that. Where do I want to set this up at? I kind of want to. So here's what I'm thinking. I may just set it up in here temporarily for now. I kind of want to. I originally wanted to do this room over here because this would be like the biology lab, because it kind of has like a lockdown, kind of like a safety decontamination room. That because in the game, actually in GoldenEye, once this door opens, this door must be closed, and vice versa too. If you open this door must be closed. And then this is kind of like this was their. I don't really know what this room was used for. It really wasn't part of the game very much at all. The only time that you ever went into it was when Dr. Doak was happened to spawn out here, but a lot of times he would spawn somewhere else. So you almost never had a reason to come over to this room here. This was kind of like some sort of tanker chemical room, because if you blew up any of the drums that were in the room, this door would close permanently and you couldn't get out. The thing about this room is I really wanted this to be the beekeeping room and the tree breeding room, because there is tons and tons and tons of room to do that I could house everything in the same room with no problems. And the bees actually, bees and butterflies, the butterflies would spawn naturally, but the bees actually pollinate the trees, so they kind of need to be in the same room. And the butterflies spawn, and you can let them kind of roam free as long as it's an enclosed area, and this is clearly an enclosed area. All the rooms down here would be, but it would make more sense for me to keep the tree and the bee breeding in this room here. And it actually makes more sense to keep the auto spawner over here, because I plan to do something kind of cool with this hallway here. What I want to do is, once I get the foci that what is it called, dislocation, the one that you can pick up spawners with, I want to change this floor to dark glass, which doesn't let any light through. It's from Extra Utilities, and I'm going to put a bunch of spawners underneath, so you'll be able to see. It'll be a glass walkway, and you'll be able to see the spawners working underneath. I want to fill this hallway underneath the floor here with spawners, and then they'll go into a collection point and grinder, and that'll feed. That'll probably feed my reservoir that I'm going to be using for the auto spawner, which is maybe in here. I may do it in here, but for the time being, we're going to temp set it up in here and see if we can't get anything going here. So I'm going to set. I'm going to make a cut here. Set it all up, because that isn't all that important. And I know I'm running a little long on the explanations. So I need to do this before I run out of time. Okay, so this is what I come up with. Like I said, again, only a temporary. I was starting to build it in the center of the room, actually, and then realized that I didn't feel like putting it in the center at the moment because it would be easier to just dig into a wall and do it that way. So that way I don't have to make a big box, because the spawner and the grinder don't sync with each other very well. The spawner spawns in, I think, a 7x7 area, and the grinder only grinds. It's either 7x7 or 8x8. I don't remember. There's one side that it goes further on, so I might be an 8x8. And the grinder is only a 5x5, so I would have to double wall the whole thing. Much like I did here, this glass is too thick. So there's only a 5x5 space in the center there. Now, what I have is, I hope this works. This may not work. The fluid duct here, I have it pumping out of the drum and over to the spawner, and then the grinder here is outputting fluid duct or mob essence back into the pressure. This is basically a pressurized fluid duct. That is, it's always going to be full due to the pump in this barrel here, or the servo. Now, I don't know what is going to draw from first. I don't know what the spawner is going to pull from, because the grinder may actually back up with fluid. So I may have to, instead of running it into the outside, I may have to run it this way and then put it into the top of the barrel. So that way it pulls like it should. Instead of putting it into a pipe that already has fluid in it. So I'm not sure which side this is going to pull from first, whether it's going to pull from the barrel or pull from the grinder. So I may have to change that later, but we're going to fire this thing up. I'm going to put the wisp in it for now, because what I need is this safari net. So I need to change out them with one of these. I need to get the wisp out and put them in one of these ones until I can put the ghast and the enderman, specifically the ghast, because I think I have enough ender pearls to make another safari net, but I certainly don't have any tiers, so I need to put the ghast in there next. But before I do that, I might as well grind up some wisp because I need that ethereal essence. So we're going to get this thing started. Did I put that in already? I did. Okay. Hopefully this works. And I'm really hoping that they don't spawn out here. They shouldn't. And they're spawning. And are they grinding up? They are grinding up. That's awesome. Still going? Okay. What is it? How much essence does that consume? It's hard to say. Don't really know. It is backing up. So I'm going to have to find a different way to route that. And I need better energy conduits, it seems like. But it's working. How many do I have? I got a bit now. So I'm going to let this thing run for a little while. And then we will start spawning in some of the other mobs. Alright, let it run for a little bit. Keeping an eye on how much power it was using, how much mob essence it uses. It doesn't seem to use very much at all, at least not with the wisp. They must give almost as much as it's using, because the grinder here, it only had about just a little over a bucket. It was about 1,100 millibuckets. And it just now depleted. Like, I actually took the barrel away and let it use what was in the system, and it just now started to take from what was in the pipes already. So it took a long time for it to drain just one bucket, which is a good sign. But I got all this stuff, and this will tide me over for now. One of them spawned infernal, so I got an iron helmet, which I'll melt down for some iron. What else? I'll be melting these down for Aurum. That's another thing that I need, Aurum essence for a lot of the Thaumcraft stuff. So not only is this going to be used for the Mundus, or Salus Mundus, but also for Aurum essence. But something that I didn't realize could happen is I came down here to turn the system off. And as soon as I came up to this, just before I could click on the lever, a wisp spawned right in front of me, down here underneath. And I didn't know that they could spawn down here. So I quickly captured it, and so I didn't have to mess around with changing it out. So it was convenient, but also kind of could be a bad thing. So I put some blocks here and a torch. Hopefully they won't spawn. I think that's enough. I might have to bring the blocks out one more and put another torch down, so that way they can't spawn there. Or at least some covers. Do I still have some covers left? No, I used them all. I suppose I could cut more up, but whatever. So what I'm going to do, grinder's still on, so I'm going to release the wisp into the room, and it should grind it up. Hopefully, yep. Okay, good. What we're going to do is, let's take... I could put the wisp, or the gas in there. Oh, it might destroy the glass. Let's bring... Okay, so... Okay, put that in. Empty net and the gas. Let's do it... Let's do it down here, where there's nothing that it could break. This is probably a good room here. So hopefully I can do this fast enough where I don't die and it doesn't die. Ha! Perfect. Okay, let's go spawn some ghasts. This room. Put my glass back in. Make sure exact copy's still off, and let's turn this thing on. Hopefully. I mean, it should be able to, does it need to be 4 high? It might need to be 4 high. It's trying to spawn it, but it can't. It needs to be 4 high. Alright, hang on. These guys barely fit in the room. It's hilarious. Alright, so now that we're done with that, I got a couple... Got a bunch in here. I took one of them, and I had just enough ender pearls to make one more of the reusable nets. So I put my my enderman in it. And let's go ahead and turn this off. So we're gonna switch this out. I'm gonna put the enderman in. I'm gonna keep it exact copy off for the time being. If they're not spawning as the frienderman, I may do exact copy on to see if that changes it, because I'm really curious to see what those guys drop. I don't know if they drop their backpack or if they drop anything. No, see, that's just the regular guys. Let's turn it to exact copy. Any day now. Yes? No? Why are you no? Oh, there he is. It does. Those are the friendermen, I believe. I wonder if they even drop anything. Because neither of those dropped anything, and the one that I killed didn't drop anything either. I love hats. It's such a funny mod. They do drop pearls. Because that was 3. No backpacks, though. I wonder if you can see what's in their backpack. I may do that sometime. Some other time. I don't have time to do that today. May turn off the grinder and see if I can access their backpack. Yeah. still nothing. Well, I'm going to change that back to non-exact copy because that takes a lot more juice. Exact copies take, I think, 5 times as much. 5 times as much mob essence as the non-exact copy. So, that's going to be about it. I'm going to let this thing run, get up some ender pearls, and let's see, do I have some juice? Oh, I'm going to have to find another source of power. I am completely out of power. Okay, so I'm going to recharge my batteries, I guess, before I do any more spawning. Did I pick it up? I did pick it up. Okay. So anyways, that is going to be about it for today. Got all kinds of stuff done. A little bit further into the machines, which is kind of what I want to do. I want to get things a little bit better set up because I want to get into... I want to do something with this because this is the bathroom. Those of you who have played the game know that this is the bathroom. There are urinals here, and along these walls here, there were stalls, and obviously machines were not part of the bathroom. I want to move these to their appropriate rooms downstairs, down below. In order to do that, I need a little better energy production. So, may do the refinery thing like I did last time. As you can see, I had to steal my conduits here for the. I need to make some more. For the spawner downstairs, so these machines are currently not accepting anything. Can I do that? The back is receiving. Put the front to output, and then that way both of them will charge. Anywho, that's going to be about it for today. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you join me in the next one.